Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a worth the buy or not on a new foundation. This is a drugstore foundation and I'm really excited about this. It's the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate Foundation. Now, if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you guys know, because I constantly talk about this foundation, that the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Matte Foundation is one of my holy grails. It's probably my favorite foundation from the drugstore when it comes to full coverage, looking like a queen, staying oil-free for the entire day. This is my baby. So if you don't know, now you know. So I was really excited that they came out with a hydrating one, because I know there's a lot of people that don't have oily skin that are looking for something to hydrate their skin, looking for a similar consistency like the more full coverage matte one, but just in a different formula. So I'm going to be reviewing this. This did cost, I think, $12. And I also am reading that this is a radiant foundation with hyaluronic acid, which is very nice and hydrating. It's medium to full coverage. So I'm really excited to dive into this. I need to open this with my tweezers so I don't ruin my nails. So it literally looks exactly the same packaging as my Conceal and Define. I wish they would have changed it just a little bit so you can differentiate it. The only way you can tell the difference is like by the packaging label, but who cares, I guess. So let's quickly get into skin. So I'm going to be using my Ultra Repair Cream, and I'm going to just moisturize. You guys know the drill. I always have to moisturize my skin because I just love a good moisturized finish. And then I'm going to be taking another drugstore product. I'm going to be taking my Maybelline Baby Skin. And because we went in with a good moisturizer, I'm just going, if I can open this, there we go. I'm going to be applying this on my cheek area and also my enlarged pore area right here, but mainly target the cheeks because that's where I want it to look smooth. I actually had a bad reaction. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I posted my story that Ole Henriksen, I think it's called Fat Facial, not good for me. Not good for sensitive skin or people with rosacea. It literally burned my cheeks, and now I have some texture from that, and I'm just like, of course this happens right before I go on my trip. I find that whenever I use Baby Skin, it tends to really do a good job of kind of smoothing everything out. So like I mentioned, Baby Skin by Maybelline OG, that really does the damn thing. So now we can go ahead and apply the foundation. Oh, they also have a concealer, but honestly, I was in such a hurry yesterday that I didn't pick up the concealer. But if you guys want to see me review the Makeup Revolution concealer, the new one is hydrating, I can go ahead and do that at some point. But I just wanted to get this foundation review because you guys know I'm a fiend for foundation. So like always, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. sponge for this side. And another thing I love about this foundation is the fact, ooh, why does this, is this not a, oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. So these are actually different. I was about to say, another thing I love about this is the doe foot applicator, but it's not like this, baby. So one of the reasons I love this doe foot applicator is because I feel like I can just dot it on my face as opposed to getting my fingers messy. With this one, you can't really do it because of pump. I love pumps, but I really do like this applicator. So I guess there is a difference between the two. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so I got F12 in both of them. This is like my perfect match, the Makeup Revolution full coverage one, Conceal and Define. Perfect match. I don't know if this is gonna be my perfect match because it looks a little bit darker, but it's the same exact color. So let's just see. Okay. So that's what it looks like. Very runny consistency. Okay, let's go ahead and get up close. Very, very runny consistency. This color looks a little bit different than the other one that I have. We can compare it in the end just to kind of see. Okay, so this is definitely much more hydrating. It covered my redness pretty fast. You guys can see I do have redness. It's not really intense, but it's there. It's a very, very lightweight consistency, very wet. I think for somebody that has normal and dry skin, like it's gonna be like, whoo, yes, like glow. It's not like oily looking or like she looks super luminous, but it definitely does have like a healthy glow. And because I do have that like irritation from that facial mask that I got from Olay, it is picking up a little bit more of my texture than usual, even with my Maybelline primer, just because I feel like a lot of times dewy foundations tend to accentuate texture on me, more so than matte foundations. I don't know, that's just usually what happens on my skin type. I would say it's more so on like medium full coverage, because I definitely do feel like it covered everything it needed to cover. Like, I honestly don't think I need anything more. I feel like this is enough. And like I mentioned, I've been such a big fan of less is more. Like, there's no point in packing and packing. So I think with this, we're gonna be good to go. And like I mentioned, we use a sponge. I don't think the sponge absorbed too much of that foundation, and I just went in with one pump. You guys saw that. So I think that the sponge did really well with the foundation in terms of it's still giving it that life that it needed without absorbing too much of that extra. So I would say so far it looks nice with sponge, but we still have to see how it looks with a brush, because maybe with a brush it'll be a little bit more full coverage, but I think that the coverage is looking pretty good with just the sponge. You have to say, guys, I feel like the color is different than the original one that they have. I feel like it's oxidizing, turning kind of red. The other one did not do that. I don't know if it's maybe because it's different ingredients that are coming into play, but I feel like my face looks just a little tiny bit red. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of go with it. I can always go back in with my concealer and fix it up, but I just feel like it's a different color. I like how lightweight it feels though. I do have to say that it just feels like a very nice lightweight consistency. Just kind of melts right into the skin. It doesn't feel like you have anything on it. Almost feels like you're applying a tinted moisturizer. That's how lightweight the formula feels. In with brush and sponge, and honestly, I think it looks great with both. Like, really good. This side set, as you can see, this side looks a little bit more wet than this side that is left alone. So you can see that it definitely sets a little bit more of a normal finish as opposed to looking really wet. I feel like when you first apply a product, it can definitely give you like wet vibe, but I like the fact that it does set a little bit. So you don't have to worry about it being like too intense. This side looks really good. Honestly, like I just mentioned, both will be good, whether you use a sponge or a brush. I don't think there's a major difference with which one applies it better. And I think it's pretty good coverage. I mean, it's definitely not like an extreme full coverage like this one. Like, if you like really full coverage, you want everything to be completely covered, nothing in sight, the original one, the Conceal and Define Foundation, is like your baby. But I definitely, like I mentioned, the thing that's really tripping me out is that I feel like it oxidized a little bit and I look a little bit red. But other than that, I feel like it's good. And like, I don't notice it like settling in like when I make a lot of facial expressions. I know a lot of people are like, when you put on a full face of makeup, you have to be like resting bitch face because you don't want, you know, the fine lines. But I feel like it looks nice, and it's giving me like a really pretty just glow. Just the texture right now, but I'm pretty sure it's because of the reaction I had. I don't think it's the foundation to blame for this, because I know that I use a product that messed up my skin. Oh, let me blend this out a little bit. Forgot to blend that. So yeah, it's looking pretty good right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my very first impressions, thoughts on how it works with the rest of my products, and then we can go ahead and get our day started and kind of investigate what this new Conceal and Hydrate Makeup Revolution foundation is about. Because I really, like I mentioned, I love the original so much. Like, I'm telling you, this is one of my favorites. But I'm curious to see how this will do. But I'm really excited for the people that do have dry skin, because I know they've probably been wanting something that will better suit them than that one. So let's go ahead and find out today. Hey guys, so I am back. I just finished my entire face of makeup. All the details will be down below in the description box. I am wearing the Jackie palette, in case you guys are wondering. I literally am obsessed. Expect a tutorial on this palette very, very soon. Just an FYI. Okay, so let's talk about the foundation. The foundation looks really good right now. I did go ahead and use concealer and setting powder because you guys know I like to go ahead and bake because my eyes crease. So for concealer, I used my e.l.f. one. Always use this. It is a full coverage concealer. I figured it would work great with foundation because the foundation is very lightweight in consistency. So it wouldn't be like clashing with like full coverage foundation, full coverage concealer. And I definitely feel like It added some life down there. When I went in with baking powder, I mean, it looks great. It works well with powder. So in case you do want to set your face a little bit with some powder, I would definitely recommend doing it because you don't face any issues of it looking cakey or like super intense full coverage. What I did with the baking powder that I dusted away from the under eyes is I went in and kind of just applied a little bit on the smile lines, the T-zone, the areas where I tend to get really oily through the day. So that took care of that. Then I did go in with some blush and some bronzer, and it all worked great. None of it sheared out or kind of separated. It all looks fantastic. So that's definitely something that I am really happy about. I feel like it just like overall looks like a very healthy look. I do feel like the coverage is more on the full coverage side, to be completely honest with you guys. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more sheer. Maybe it's because a lot of foundations that I've been testing out lately are kind of that similar consistency, so that's why I'm kind of like getting that same vibe. But I mean, it's definitely not as full coverage as the original, but it's definitely a good coverage for me. So I really do like that. Let me see if it feels sticky. It does feel a little bit sticky, but it's not anything too serious. Is it transferring? It's not transferring that bad. I see a little tiny bit of transfer. So far, I think it's a good look. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is carry on with the rest of my day. I will come back to you guys with an in natural lighting check-in so you guys can see how this does. And then I will come back at the very end of the day and give you guys my very last thoughts on this foundation, and we can see if this is worth the buy or not. So stay tuned if you want to know all the tea on this new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate foundation. Okay guys, I am back. I look so different. I got my hair done. I'm about to go to LA, so I needed to get a blowout and I needed to put my extensions in. If you're in Maryland, you need to go to Nadali Beauty. I will have their information linked down below. I literally am obsessed with them. The sweetest team ever, but they do bomb-ass blowouts, and it's such an affordable price, and they put in your extensions and you're good to go. So, I mean, I'm feeling like I'm Lily Glitchy right now. Like, that's how bomb I feel right now. But anyways, I'm here to talk about the Conceal and Hydrate foundation. So you guys can see how this looks like on my skin. Definitely have some dew. Right now it is about to be 10 p.m. I think it is 10 p.m. So we definitely have dew here. Like, there's no doubt about it. But honestly, I was expecting that because this is a hydrating foundation. So I wasn't expecting that. So I'm a-okay with it. I knew what I was getting myself into. I feel like my cheeks look nice. You guys know that my cheeks are kind of like my drier area of my face. They held up pretty well. I feel like the shine isn't that bad on the cheeks as it is right up here. It's like, whew, you could just fry some fries there. But it's a little rough up there. But other than that, it stayed pretty much in place. And that's saying something because I actually got my brows threaded today. And you guys can see, they needed it. Like, they were bad. But I got them threaded. And I mean, even in the area where they went in with threading, I feel like the foundation still looks nice and in place. I feel like for somebody that is looking for a really good hydrating foundation at the drugstore, I think this is gonna be really nice. I like the fact that Makeup Revolution came out with this hydrating one because I feel like, for me at least, the original, the Conceal and Define, was such a hit that I was like, my dry skin people need to try this out because it is bomb, but obviously not in this formula because it's way too dry for them. So I'm really happy that they did come out with this. I feel like the coverage is pretty good. I mean, honestly, guys, like, look, we still look really good and in place. The only thing that I'm kind of about is the shade range. I feel like the shade range isn't that good. They need to expand that. I also feel like the shades kind of oxidize a little bit, and I feel like they don't pull that perfect undertone like some other foundations. I also like the fact that it does come with a pump. I didn't think that there was a difference at first. I thought they were both doe foot applicators. Pump is nice. I feel like between pump and then this applicator, the doe foot, is like heaven. I love this applicator personally. It's one of my favorites for the face. I feel like it just really gets in there and it does what it needs to do. I don't think this foundation oxidized, the regular one, the original one, the Conceal and Define. I feel like the new hydrating one does, and maybe it's because the formula is different. This one does have hyaluronic acid and stuff, but I was like, what's going on here? But I think it looks very pretty. And I think it's something that I definitely see myself using, maybe mixing it with my Conceal and Define foundation. Like, if this feels a little too heavy for the winter time, when I want a foundation to be a little bit more hydrating on my skin, maybe mixing these together will be like a dream come true. The Conceal and Define has 0.8 ounces and the Conceal and Hydrate has 0.7 ounces. So very, very tiny little difference, but it's there. This product is cruelty-free and vegan, just so you guys know. So that's a good thing to note. You guys are probably gonna ask me, which one's better, Fenty, Anastasia, this one? Honestly, I like how this held up on somebody, like maybe combination to oily skin. It held up pretty nice. It didn't get like too luminous like my Anastasia does sometimes. But I feel like what's kind of iffy for me is the shade range. Like I would say choose those because I feel like you're more likely to find your shade range color in the Fenty or the Anastasia Beverly Hills because they have like what 40 to 50 shades. This one is very limited. But I feel like if you're in a budget and you don't want to spend on Fenty or Anastasia, then this is definitely something to look into because it's definitely comparable. It looks nice on the skin. It's laying nice on the skin. And I think for somebody that it has that dry skin, it'll lay way nicer and not so oily looking for much longer. So yeah, those are pretty much all my final thoughts. I really hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing my foundation reviews. Let me know what you guys want to see next because I got you guys. So let me just tell you something real quick before I go. I was originally going to be reviewing the Kevyn Aucoin foundation today, right? I placed my order on Monday. Today's Thursday. You guys are going to see this tomorrow, which is, for you, it'll be Friday. My order, I don't know where the hell it is. It's literally been stuck in a facility in Maryland for the past 3 days. And I'm like, when are you going to get here? I was so upset that I didn't get here today because I wanted to review this today so that I could have it up tomorrow. But shit happens, I guess. So that's coming. As soon as I come back from LA, that video is going to be up on my channel. So expect that very soon. I'm just literally mad that they didn't want to just ship it out to me on time. So that's where it's at. So I had to go ahead and review the Conceal and Hydrate foundation first. And yeah, the next foundation you guys will see is another affordable foundation that I'm reviewing, so stay tuned for that. If you guys want anything else, just let me know down below or at me on Instagram, The Mexican Beauty. I got you guys. If you're new to my channel, hi, welcome. I hope that you enjoy my video enough to stick around for more because I literally hook you guys up all the time. Like, I got the tea, the real tea, the good tea. So that being said, thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Wait, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you are always notified as soon as I upload, because I want you to be the first to watch this video. Yeah. So yeah, bye guys.